It's been a year. It might be time to sit back, reflect, and waffle on a few things. It's the waffling. So today I have a wine. It is a 2018 Pinot Noir. Y'all remember in 2018 when we were like, Happy New Year, don't let the door hit you, worst year ever, can only get better in the future. And now we're winding down 2021, year of our Lord. Speaking of the Lord, today I made a waffle and I forgot to grease the waffle iron so it completely fell apart. And this is butter, but I took a little bit to get it on there so it didn't really have a chance to melt. It's a lot of butter. As we know, I go for a lot of, it's a lot of butter. That's like a week's worth of butter. A week's worth of butter. That's not a unit of measurement, a week's worth of butter. To who? This is a week's worth of a Pioneer's butter. They were churning the butter for an hour to make a week's worth of butter, and someone ate it all, me. Oh, you ate all of our butter. Oh, this is off to a really weird start. Okay. Along with butter, we have maple syrup. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, make me YouTube famous for the wrong reasons, waffle. And then, because I just learned it's really low calorie, we've got Cool Whip, and I'm gonna add it. Voila. This is exactly what you should be eating in the year of our Lord 2021. What year is it? 2021. Now, as always, I did not go back and watch previous episodes of The Waffling, so I have no idea what format this is supposed to be. I refuse to go back and watch. That's time I'll never get back. And frankly, it's time you'll never get back. But I do believe that I'm supposed to mention that this is the first bite, and we're gonna see how it goes. Oh. That Cool Whip and that Pioneer's butter. No, I have to slow down. I have things to talk about. I have to slow down. Here's the deal. It might be presumptuous of me, but I feel like we all needed a waffling. We needed to stuff our faces and get hammered and record it and put it on the internet, like metaphorically and collectively. So I decided, since I haven't done this in a while, because that's the way this happens, I would just talk a little bit about this year. We'll do a recap because I know it blends into kind of what happened in that other year. Today it is November something. I don't know why I looked at my watch. It's November o'clock. We are going to talk about what has happened so far. All right, insurrection. That happened in January of last year, this year. Fuck. Do you remember it, or did your mind do that cool thing where you forget the bad stuff? It's not all bad. We did get sea shanties out of it. Okay, now one of the takes that I've heard about insurrection, our little baby insurrection, is that it's not insurrection because nobody has been charged with sedition. I heard that one a while ago. I don't know if anyone's been charged with sedition. I don't keep up with that. It was boring now. But I love that argument. You can't poke holes in it, really. I mean, think about it. Like, it's not a homicide until you charge someone with killing the person, right? Until someone is charged with killing the person, it's just like a really dramatic dead body on the ground. So I think that holds. But as to whether the insurrection was like good or bad, or where I stand on it, I'm gonna go with it was bad, but I think it could have been worse. I mean, when you think about it, it's bad, but it could have been worse, could be a slogan for this whole year. Next topic. I'm a waffle on Joe Biden. Yeah. As far as Joe, I feel like we're all kind of waffling on him, aren't we? That one had extra Cool Whip. I'm gonna pretend I earned this little treat. So this next topic is so bad, so divisive. Like, I don't even wanna say it, but we can't talk about 2021 without it. Just say it. Texas. So I could do like a whole waffling on Texas this year. I could eat a whole waffle about that, if you know what I mean. So what you need to understand about Texas as someone who lives here, the local news is so fucking wild. Their weekly recaps are like an auctioneer telling you about the apocalypse. It's like the end of the world as we know it with no Leonard Bernstein. I mean, I was listening today about how they're trying to strip the textbooks in Texas of sex ed. They're like, we have too much sex ed because we let kids know that sex exists. It's like, I don't think you need to strip anything more out of these textbooks for everyone in the state to grow up fucking confused. But on the other hand, I mean, maybe if everyone is so confused about sex, we'll just make this whole state a virgin. I don't think that would be bad. If like no one in the state had sex for just like a little while, like a 40 or 50 years. I mean, if you're already having sex, you're grandfathered in, which grandfathered in, that's not a great term for what I just said. You know what I mean. And some of you might be saying, they're gonna have sex whether you teach them about it or not. Not if you scare them shitless. Okay, so another thing we obviously need to talk about Texas-wise. So in February, the whole state froze and we lost electricity and it was almost like a full purge. People died. We were like, oh no, the grid kind of failed. Oh, we never would have seen that coming, which is like kind of a fun excuse. Everybody got fired and then nothing happened. So we get to have that all over again. But like, we can plan a sleepover this time and we can just kind of live it up until the purge starts. Okay, the next topic is much more fun than Texas. And it is the Olympics. We did that this year. Y'all remember that? The masks, and then like immediately in the opening ceremony, you're like, oh, the Americans are not keeping their masks on. Oh my God, why are we like this? One of these days, we're gonna go, are we the baddies? But today is not that day. USA, USA. This was also a really weird Olympics because it was all Gen Z, wasn't it? And they were like, we care about our mental health. And everyone else was like, shut up and break your legs for us. I mean, it was fun. It was fun shouting at young children to break their legs for me. Okay, this is getting to be a very long waffling. I had a lot on my list. I mean, for how much we stayed inside this year, well, some of us. For how much we stayed inside this year, there actually was a lot that happened. So I think the fix is rather than doing like a long waffling, right? So much waffle. I actually ate dinner before I had this waffle. So this is all extra food. I'm gonna throw up on camera, which some of you would be really into. I think what I'm gonna do instead of doing this extra long waffle, oh, why does everything sound like sex? It's because I'm from Texas and like even waffles make me horny because I just didn't learn anything. My point is, Claire, that instead of doing an extra long thing, I think I'm gonna do 2 parts. That's all I was getting at. It took a while to get there, but we're there. Anyway, this is the end of part 1. See you in part 2.